Hey, this is Derek Taylor, your teacher for American History 1. This is a re-recording of the little overview of the second writing assignment. Apparently, there was no audio in the last one, so just FYI. So just go over the second writing assignment, which is due this Saturday, April 4th. If you go to Canvas, get on the writing assignments module, you'll find source assignment 2, which is an article critique. What you'll be doing for this 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 little writing assignment is writing a one to two, basically a two-page double-spaced response to an academic article, and you're gonna have to critique it. And one thing I want you to do in general with this assignment is pay very close attention to the language the author uses and how he constructs his argument, what he emphasizes, what types of evidence that he appeals to. And the article is entitled "The Enemy Is Us: Democratic Capitalism in the Early Republic" by Gordon Wood. Gordon Wood is a very renowned historian of the American Revolution and the early United States. And in this essay, he recounts a debate which took place among historians, believe the article was written in 1993, over whether or not the early American Republic was a capitalist society or not. And so I give you um, four objectives of the assignment you have to sort of meet. One is identify his main thesis. He doesn't come out, I don't think, maybe one place and say it clearly, but he kind of suggests it throughout the article. That's one of the things you have to do. I mean, pay attention to his language. Sometimes he'll, and again, partly this is because he's writing for other historians. That's what this article is about. It's written to professional historians, about professional historians, and by professional historians. But what is his thesis? He takes a position with regards to that question. Was early America a capitalist society or not? He gives you it gives you enough of a thesis there. Secondly, identify any possible weaknesses in the way he supports his thesis. Does he, is there any weakness in his evidence? Does he, primary and secondary sources? Does it seem like he's reading too much into the sources or something like this? How fully he explains his conclusions. Note any possible evidence is number three, primary or secondary evidence that might run contrary to his argument that he leaves out. Does he fairly characterize the difficulties or not with his own position? Does he fairly characterize the opposing view? That sort of thing for number three. And finally, number four, evaluate whether or not the article is relevant for a general audience and give an example of that from the article. Supporting your evaluation. And again, this is a little easier. Again, most of my kids normally don't think it has much relevance, but maybe today, with perhaps the popularity among some people of socialism, maybe this is a little more relevant to you. But Wood's a good writer. He's for the most part pretty clear, but you should start reading this as soon as possible, is my general advice to you. And the goal here is to get you to think through the essay, not just read through it. I've had problems in the past with students who they'll read through this. Again, this is an article in which he's recounting other people's opinions in a debate. And sometimes they'll cite a passage in which he's recounting somebody else's opinion and cite it as if Wood is giving his own critique or his own opinion. That sort of thing I want you to pay attention to. Don't get lost in all there's not really a lot. It's very technical or requires a lot of knowledge. Some of this doesn't be passed over your head. That's fine. But don't just rush through it. Take your time in reading the article. I'm giving you a PDF file. Use the comment function. Take notes with the little comments, and then come back to it when you write your essay. It's not even much of an essay. It's just a two-page reaction. You should take a lot more time reading it than writing the essay. The goal is to get you to take a hard look at the language. Take, for example, another example, identifying his main thesis. One of the things historians debate is not just was America, early America, a capitalist society or not. They debate what capitalist means. They have to give their own definitions of capitalism. He does this. So pay attention to that sort of thing. Words like that matter. Capitalism, capitalist, so on and so forth. What words he emphasizes, those sorts of things. Pay attention to the language, the way he constructs his argument. One of the things to watch out for here is when I'm asking you to critique this article, what I don't mean is tell me not whether I think he's right or wrong in his opinions. No offense to you. You're mostly first-year college students. You are in no position to make that judgment whatsoever. I don't care, by the way, if you like or don't like his opinions. I don't care about that. The point is, can you take a real close look at his argument and sort of evaluate it on very specific details like the thesis, like evidence. And again, I find you giving your opinion at some point. For the most part, that's not what this is about. It's simply about evaluating this type of article, this kind of scholarly article, on those very narrow grounds. And again, the last part, maybe number 4, evaluating the article's relevance. There you can, a little more of your opinions involved there, because what's relevant or not changes. But the most part, I'm looking for, okay, concrete stuff. And it's a small article. He may leave stuff out, by the way, when he's talking about arguments. He only has I think it's only about 20 pages long. It's not too long. So he can't include everything he might want to. So that's a possibility as well. But the main thing is to, again, identify main thesis, sources, and again, how he interprets those sources, right? All these historians are having this argument, this debate. They're all looking, for the most part, the same stuff. This is occasionally, and it's especially a big question like this, where it's, was America a capitalist society or not? It's not as if you're going to normally find one piece of evidence that says, aha, officially in the American, like there's like a law somewhere that said, yes, this is a capitalist society. You're asking people to evaluate the behavior of people who didn't use that type of language at that point in the early 1800s. They didn't have that term. I don't know when it came into being, maybe a few decades after that. And so you're trying to get a retrospective evaluation of how they lived, how they ordered their economic lives this way. And so to think through those things carefully. And then, again, I don't mean to just blow through the writing part, but that should be the fruit of some reflection on the article itself. That's what I mean by critique, and not just, a serious effort to critique on these basic points, not merely your reaction, not merely your opinion. So that's what I wanted to go over. It's one of the things I wanted to emphasize to you, just to avoid those sorts of things. Please email me if you have any questions. I'll try to answer you as soon as possible. Get started reading on this as soon as possible, and I'll hopefully be talking to you guys via the comments and discussion forum this week. And so stay healthy, stay safe, guys, and hopefully I will hear from you soon.